Man United show how weak their mentality is after loss to Crystal Palace. Just 4 days after securing a resounding victory over Crystal Palace in the League Cup at Old Trafford, Manchester United found themselves grappling with a devastating defeat in the Premier League to the same opposition. In this video, we'll dissect the feeble mentality that seems to have gripped the once mighty Manchester United. A shocking defeat. Where were you on Tuesday night? The Manchester United supporters asked the Crystal Palace fans a chant that reverberated around Old Trafford. But this time, the Palace faithful had an answer. They not only showed up, they clinched a remarkable victory. Who's filled the stadium as the full-time whistle sounded, a familiar refrain echoing the frustration that has become all too common for United supporters. A denial of refereeing blame. Erik Ten Hag, United's manager, marched towards the referee Chris Kavanagh after the game, questioning some of the decisions, but blaming the referee only goes so far. The truth is, United's performance against Palace left much to be desired, and blaming the officials is merely an attempt to deflect from the deeper issues in hand. Refereeing decisions aside, Palace deserved their win. Historical parallels. For Manchester United, a club steeped in history and success, a current season start is nothing short of a disaster. The last time they experienced such a dismal beginning to a campaign was back in 1989-90, a period that included a memorable Palace triumph at Old Trafford. However, what's notably missing this time around is the call for the manager's dismissal, a stark contrast to the fan outrage of yesteryears. Tactical gambles and defeats. As desperation crept in, Ten Hag made some unorthodox moves, including deploying Harry Maguire as an auxiliary striker. Unfortunately, this gamble didn't pay off, with Maguire's accidental punt against Alejandro Garnacho resulting in a throw-in for Palace. It was an illustration of the depths to which United had sunk. Mentality crisis. Perhaps the most glaring issue for Manchester United is the crisis of mentality. The inability to convert a Premier League match against the same team they defeated in the League Cup is symptomatic of a deeper problem. It's not just about the ownership or injuries, it's about the mindset of the players and the management. The searing frustration of fans. As fans left the stadium well before the final whistle, a chant of "We want Glazers out" resonated through the air. The frustration is palpable, with supporters desperate for change. The ownership may not be directly responsible for on-field performance, but it symbolizes a deeper discontent within the fan base. A call for change. While the ownership and the injury list may not be the root causes of Manchester United's woes, there's no denying that a change is needed. The team has already lost more home league matches than they did in the entirety of the previous season, a statistic that should send shockwaves through the club. The hope of comeback. Throughout the game, there was a glimmer of hope that United could stage a comeback. A committed challenge from Bruno Fernandes stirred the crowd, and Alejandro Garnacho emerged as the most threatening attacker. However, the team's struggles persisted, with Rasmus Højlund missing clear-cut chances. The defeat to Crystal Palace lays bare the crisis that has enveloped Manchester United. It's not just about this particular match, it's about the mentality, the tactics, and the future of a club that once dominated English football. The calls for change are growing louder, and the upcoming matches will be pivotal in determining the path Manchester United takes. One thing is certain, the feeble mentality needs to be addressed, and it's a challenge that must be met head-on.